let's talk about that because you bring this up a lot. When I very first met you, and it's funny, we were talking earlier about your kids are 10 years old now. I think we met when you were pregnant with twins. Oh, you weren't even pregnant yet. So we met before you were pregnant with twins, and I remember you joking. It's like, Jesus, man, I have these advanced degrees in media public affairs that you're still paying for, and I'm a fucking real estate agent. And you would get so angry, and I'm
like, I had like a chip on my shoulder. I think because, like I had gone to grad school and I think I thought like, and I had been working in public radio, which honestly is like a lot of like intellectual kind of like journalist, writer people. And then real estate is like a lot of people who like don't graduate high school or don't graduate college. And it's like, you don't.
Very low barrier to entry.
Yeah, it's a low barrier to entry. And that's why there's a lot of like really bad real estate agents in some ways. And sometimes there's like amazing real estate agents. So it's just like, it's a very varied situation. Right. Whereas like working in public radio is like small, very specific. Everyone is like,
if you're working at NPR, everybody's kind of similarly credentialed.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Right. So, and I was sort of at the beginning mourning that career because I had really wanted to make it work and I just couldn't make it work. It was like 2008, NPR like basically laid off like, tons of people because they were losing money like crazy. They had lost a lot of money in the stock market and they were like ending 2 of their shows that were being recorded out of the NPR West in Culver City. And and then I worked at Marketplace for a little while, which because it was like a business, public radio was actually, they were doing okay. But then there were so many public radio like producers out of work that they were like, well, we're just going to filter them. Like, we're not going to stick with you. We're going to keep, moving everybody in. There were like 65 out of work public radio producers in Los Angeles in like 2008 that were all laid off from NPR and other places. And, there's just not nearly that many jobs in this area. A lot of them went back to DC. Some people transitioned to other things like me. I remember I was a friend with someone who decided to go back to school to get a nursing degree and, whatever. So, but, I was mourning that career because I thought, there was a part of me that was like, I couldn't make it work. And now I'm doing something that seems like less, important or whatever, or less like,
intellectually stimulating.
Yeah. In some way. But I don't care about that shit anymore. I mean, it's like, it's funny because a lot of the people that I worked with back then, this was like 10 or 12 years ago, like, they've had like 5 or 6 different jobs at different, like, because that's how it's like entertainment, but way less lucrative.
Right. I was gonna say, and you probably make a lot more money as a real estate agent.
Way more.
Right.
Yeah.
Providing better for your family. Yeah. And I always joke, I'm like, in the loan officer world where I come from, in the real estate world, nobody grows up being like, I want to be a loan officer or I want to be the best realtor in Culver City. It's like, I kind of feel like all loan officers and all realtors failed at something else first or got, shuffled out of a career. And then they're like, well, I'll go into real estate or loans because like you can help people, you can make a lot of money. I can kind of make my own schedule. And then certain people thrive. And as you and I know, certain people die on the vine and they never really make it. Yeah. But it's so funny because every realtor I ever talked to, I'm like, hey, what'd you do in your real life before you did real estate? And they're everybody had something. I was in the entertainment industry. I was a
musician. Yeah. I worked. I was a producer. I did costumes. I did whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really funny.